So that guy right there, that's the dad, and he is outside of the cave protecting the nest. And the female is actually inside of the cave right now laying eggs. So what she does is she goes upside down and she lays the eggs on the top of the cave. So I'm going to shine a light in there quickly so that you can see what's going on. She just came out from being upside down. That's the female. And if we look in the cave, see if I can get the light right. There. You can see on the top of the cave, there's a whole mess of little teeny tiny eggs that you can see underneath there in the light. So she's probably gonna go back in. She's already gone in and out. I don't even know how many times. She's been doing this all day long. But she's goes in and she lays her little eggs on the ceiling. You can see her there a little bit. It's hard to get the angle right. And Dad's job is basically to protect the nest. And she'll come out and she'll feed. And then in a few days, well, she'll stay in the nest actually. She'll stay in the cave when she's done laying. And she'll fan them. She'll come out and feed a little bit. And then once the babies hatch, she'll keep them in her mouth. I'm not sure if the male and the female do it, but I know that the female keeps the babies in her mouth and she carries them around and protects them and will let them go out to feed in places that are like vegetated and that kind of thing. So in my tank I have a lot of spaces where she can let the babies go and not have them feel like they're going to be eaten right away, and so it causes less stress for her. She's doing it again, laying more babies, more eggs I mean. You see her upside down. You see her shake really quickly, and that's when she's laying the egg and sticking it to the roof of the cave. I'm going to shut off the light now so that it doesn't disturb her as much. So this male here, he pretty much fends off all the other little guys that come over and try to get inside of the cave that's there. Get myself in a better position so you can get some scale. So that's where their cave is, over there in that corner, and this is the whole rest of the tank. In that little tube right there, hanging from the middle of the tank, that's where that Cory is in, that I hatched. Little teeny tiny thing. Let's see. It's down there in the bottom near the screen mesh. Let's see if it moves. I can barely see it in this. There he goes, swimming. And getting in a different position. Oh, that didn't help. There he is. So, and then there's other caves down in here. There's a little loach there, a little spotted thing on the left. Those are called bleeding hearts. There's about 10 or 12 of them in my tank. There's some cave area down in there. All the plants that are in here are all live plants. Some of them I just got the other day. One of them is actually flowering. I'll show you the flower, it's pretty cool. It actually flowers above the surface of the water. And oh, actually really pretty. It's like a really pale purple color. I feel like the light is just washing it out. Can't really tell on the screen of the camera if you can actually see the color in it or not. But anyway, it's purplish, whitish purple, and it grows up that stem to this up above the surface of the water from these leaves with the holes in it, which are new from yesterday. And then I also got these little hanging plants because my beta likes to hide. This is my beta over here. He likes to hide and have a place at the surface where he can hang out and hide. Otherwise, he goes underneath like leaves like that. That's actually a charred leaf that I put in thinking that maybe the plecos would want to eat it, but they haven't touched it, so must be they don't like it. I don't know why. It's organic. I grew it. Gosh, why don't they like it? Built a couple of other caves over here. There's 3 of them. Those cribs that are laying the eggs over on the other side, they don't seem to be interested in these caves, but there is a female over here, a female crib that doesn't have a mate, that has been over here hanging out in them. She wishes she had a boyfriend, but she doesn't. We all are looking for love. These are mollies. One of the females here, one of those big orange ones, is very pregnant. This one. You can actually see in her belly the eggs. When she's facing the other direction, I can see them really well. It's like that dark area right there behind her belly. It goes like silver and then like a big giant red patch. That's where the babies are, the eggs. And this fish is a molly, and it'll lay live babies. It'll have live babies, but I don't have a way of collecting them right now. So when those fish have babies, their babies just get eaten by the rest of the fish usually. I've not actually seen them have them, but they do it at random times in the day, not necessarily at any particular time of the day from what I've understood. And I just haven't managed to catch them in their process. But I've been thinking about getting a little thing that allows me to keep the adults separate from the babies so that I can hatch a few of the other ones. I'm not really interested in getting into fish breeding though, but I do think it's pretty cool that I hatched Cory and it has lived for over a month now, and that these guys keep making nests. Yeah, so let's see how many she's got in there now. Yeah, so when I looked in here like maybe a half hour ago, because I noticed that their nest was built up, this wall right here, they do that. I just put the rocks into, these 2 rocks in to help them so that they don't have to work as hard. And so it's harder for the other fish to knock it down. But when I came out here like maybe a half hour ago, there was about a quarter of this many eggs on the top of the cave. And now there's a pretty good amount of them there. Boy, I don't even know how many. There's probably a good 150, maybe even 200 eggs there right now. She's going to go in and do it again. You'll see her flip over. Yeah, she flip over and then she'll be laying the eggs. You see her upside down. Alright. I'm gonna call this video done. Hope you enjoyed my fish tank.